Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls 2 PvP sort of news sort of stuff. As most of you probably know, the most recent patch, the 1.06 patch and 1.08 calibrations, just recently came out on the 18th of July, and I've enjoyed them for a couple of days, and I've basically been in the arena the entire time. Like, I reckon I've played about 14-15 hours of PvP over the past couple of days, so you can imagine that A, I don't have much of a social life, and B, the patch has actually done something pretty good. So I'm going to start first and foremost with the fact that stun locks have kind of been fixed. So for the most part, like there used to be some infinite problems where you would be able to like attack with a claymore, and then in the other hand you'd be able to hit with the grand lance and then go claymore, grand lance, and I think usually you could roll out after the fourth hit, but by the time 4 of those attacks hit you, you were left like 1500, 1600 health down, and if you were wearing like practically no armor, sometimes that might have been enough to just kill you outright. So what's great about this patch is that basically after anything hits you 2 times, you can roll away. It doesn't matter what it is, it seems, you can roll away after 2 hits. It's not a case of, you know, this weapon does this amount of poise damage and, you know, this type of running attack. Like, you used to be able to do just with a standard greatsword, you used to be able to run attack and then R1 and R1, and with a claymore, if it was buffed as well, and I've been in the arena, so you know every claymore I've gone up against has been buffed, so if that hit you, it would like go you know, 1, 2, 3 hits, and that would do a fuck ton of damage. It would do a stupid amount of damage, quite frankly, and it required like absolutely no skill, and it wasn't even a matter of, well, if you were good enough, you'd just be able to avoid it. Like, yeah, you can say that, but when it's so easy for someone to pull off and they just try it again and again and again, that's when it starts to become a problem, because sooner or later, because of lag, or because you stop paying attention, because you're getting bored or frustrated or angry because they were just doing the same thing over and over and over again, you're gonna get hit. So they've seemed to have fixed all that, and that is extremely, extremely nice. Talking about the arenas also, healing has been completely disabled. You can't use life gems or those rouge waters or something else. Estus, that's right. You can't use Estus in the arena anymore, which is really great. My win rate kind of skyrocketed a bit, and I am actually at level 2. I'm at 160 something kills now, points. I've just kept it up high so that if I invade and I get killed by a blue by chance, I don't lose my my level 2 aura just because I got killed once. So stun locks, healing in the arena, all fixed. The Monastery scimitar has been unnerfed. It's kind of strange. It has the first frame parry back again, and most other curved swords have their parry windows back as well, which is not something I expected to see, because they seemed pretty hard on the point of like, hey, we're gonna fix this, and then they did it. And you know, when you do something in a patch, you generally want to keep it fixed, you know. I don't necessarily agree with the patch itself in the first place that nerfed it, because I like instantaneous parrying, and I think that a curved sword in your offhand, at least for PvE, is really good, because if you sacrifice like all the ability to shield at all, I think your reward should be that you get an instantaneous parry or something like that. So if you're good enough, you can parry pretty much everything. But the developers apparently thought otherwise, and they changed it so it didn't have the first frame parry. But with this patch that's come in now, they've taken away the ability to backstep parry or roll parry at the same time. So it seems like either they've made a mistake and they've kept the frames in when they really shouldn't have, or they have actually said like, okay, we've taken the roll and the backstep parry away from this first frame parry weapon, and then allowed you to have the first frame parry weapon back. Now, I actually don't really mind this. You do see a lot more Monastery scimitars in the arena and just in normal invasions now, but mostly they're wielded by people who will like just hit parry, 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 parry over and over again. And for myself, like if I want to deal with that, I basically just bring an old whip, or if I don't have the stats for it, I just jumping attack. Excuse my phone. I just jumping attack them until they get the point that I'm not going to get parried by that. Or if they are incredibly thick and they just keep doing it, well, sometimes maybe you get the chance to backstab them, and if you backstab them with a strong weapon, you might actually end up just killing them. So I don't think it's that much of a problem. I think it's a problem if you aren't able to just adapt to a situation that the game presents you with. So Monastery Scimitar, I kind of actually like it. That's all I really have to say about that. Hey guys, just interrupting the flow of the video here, because this is Hero from the next day, after I recorded my thing yesterday, on like all the patch notes and everything, and I want to correct something that I said, like a section that I've said, and you're probably hearing this right after that section, so, master splicing from me. The Monastery Scimitar, it has issues. I really like it for PvE. I really, really love it for PvE. It's really fun. I do not think that it should remain the same way as it is now. Like, it's been unnerfed, and we know why it was nerfed, and I'm not coming to this revelation just because, well, I've been playing a bit and now I'm a little bit angry and, like I got parried 50 times by a Monastery Scimitar. I haven't played any since I last recorded. Like that voice, the voice that you just heard before, the argument that you just heard before. I haven't played any. I've slept on it. I've seen a couple of videos, and I've realized that not only does the Monastery Scimitar make something too easy in PvP, it limits build creativity, and I really, really dislike that. So that's basically what I want to say, is that I disagree with what I just said to you. Like what I was just thinking yesterday, that has changed. I wish that it could remain the same. I wish that I could just keep my, really fun PvE weapon, but the fact that something is fun in PvE does not mean that it should stay, because in the PvP side of things, it really isn't all that fun to just see Monastery Scimitar, Monastery Scimitar, Monastery Scimitar, Monastery Scimitar. That's it. So, like, just because something is fun is in PvE doesn't mean that it should, stay in, because, there's a PvP side of things to think of, and I think I do fall into that trap as kind of a PvE kind of guy that mostly, I tend to just consider what is fun for me and what is, personally fun within the confines of the game, without considering the PvP implications of things. So, I'm just correcting myself here. Right, okay, on with the rest of the video. So, holy water has been fixed. Changed, however you want to phrase it. It's been made so that it only affects strictly undead enemies in the game, like the hollow soldiers and stuff, and player hosts, but it doesn't affect player phantoms anymore. So what this means is that basically you can't use holy water anymore to attack other people in the arena and stuff. So basically, if you want to damage a phantom, you have to use firebombs or something like that. And I know a lot of people already do just use firebombs or witching urns or hexing urns or lightning urns or whatever, but a lot of people were using holy water urns because they did a very consistent amount of damage, and the throwing animation was quite fast and it didn't consume stamina. Not that any of the other throwing animations do, but it was just quite fast and it was quite damaging. And I suppose to a certain degree it deserved to be nerfed because I would never use a throwing knife when I could use a holy water urn, except if I wanted, you know, a little bit more speed and range on the shot itself. So that's been fixed, I guess. I guess invaders will be getting shit now for being able to use a tool against the host that the host isn't able to use against them. But you know, then again, hosts in random invasions have their Estus and their Phantoms, so I suppose it'd be nice to finally have something that's for us. Speaking of something that's for us, we don't have healing still when we invade, which is, you know, wasn't unexpected. But the heal spells, when they're spiced down now, they used to just give like set numbers of HP. So small heal would give 500, medium heal would give 800, and a great heal would give something like 1300 back. Now that it's been spiced, now that it's been patched, you actually don't restore much at all if you don't have the stats for it, if you've like spiced it down. Because I have a great heal spiced down to 10 faith for me on one of my characters, and I seriously get about like 400, 500, 600 maybe health back from it, so I wouldn't rely on that at all anymore. So basically, if you want to heal yourself, make sure you've got plenty of spare space and get warmth and just, you know, stick around it for a little while and heal yourself up. Soul Shower and Blinding Bolt go higher and they track much better. That's pretty cool, I suppose. Blinding Bolt is actually kind of good now, where before it was just kind of terrible. And Soul Shower still doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does track a little better, which is nice. Oh, yes, and the really, really big one, heavy armors have kind of taken a big nerf in the way at least like damage is calculated for them, because like we're going, oh, it's going to be the death of the Havel monster, it's going to be the death of the Havel monster, you know, hide your kids, hide your wife, you know, husband, whatever. But your regular Havel monster now, even though their total defenses is only lowered by like 100 points, you are going to do so much more damage to them now, it's not funny. Like, I did about 140 to a person in full Havels with a Rapier perk, where before I would have done about 30 damage to them. So something's been changed. I can't exactly say what. Elite, person I've been talking to frequently, you may know his name, maybe? He postulated that maybe they raised the cap on the numbers to like what provides 100% protection. So even though the numbers only went down a little bit, what you need to get the level of protection they had before is actually much higher than it is now. So you just get like a total reduction in the amount of damage that their armor reduces. So they can't be protected as well as they used to be, which is great. So they're still resistant, but not anywhere near as much as they used to be. So like basically whatever they've done to like poise or stagger, like with escaping stunlocks and whatever they've done with poise or the stagger animations has given heavy armor and like the Ring of Giants a point in existing, because they give you poise, and it seems like poise works a little bit different now. I can't quite work out how, but it does seem to work a bit differently if you have, you know, beyond 40 or 50 poise. Also, most dex weapons have been boosted, like they just do more damage, scale better, including the Red Iron Twin Blade, which I've just been sitting in a Dropout Dragon stream for about 5 hours, and it does a ridiculous amount of damage, like just fucking crazy amounts of damage, like 1000 points of damage. Just if you hit like with a single R1 combo, it's just ridiculous. Although it is kind of slow, so I suppose if you get really comfortable with parrying them, you're not really gonna have much of a problem with it. But on the odd occasion you get like a laggy connection or someone is unpredictable with it, then you're gonna have a bad time, because that thing hits like a fucking truck. Great Clubs and Chaos Blade and stuff have been given a boost as well in their attack rating. Not as ridiculous as the Red Iron Twin Blade, but a fair bit. The Chaos Blade does a lot more damage to the user though. It does 50 instead of 30, and that's really noticeable. When I was fighting against people who were using the Chaos Blade in the arena, they were actually noticeably hurting themselves, especially because it doesn't just hurt them on like attacks that actually hurt you. If the game on their side registers that they've hit you, but you dodged out of the way, but they still get like that little fleshy, squishy sound when they like attack you, they take 50 points of damage. So if you've got, you know, a shield or you just like dodging a lot, you can feasibly whittle down someone like 300, 400, 500 points if they're especially attack happy, and people who generally use Chaos Blades generally really like that running R1 because it is so good. But other than that, I know this has been kind of a long-ish video, and I kind of just wanted to get my thoughts out based on the past couple days of me playing post-patch, and I'm really excited for it. I think it's changed how I view the PvP a lot, and I hope that I've put some interesting footage to this. So I'm excited for the DLC as well. Just in a few days I'm going to be playing that. I've got the season pass on both PS3 and PC, so I'm going to be having a lot of fun with that, hopefully. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.